So, I'm gonna rank the Soulsborne games. I've been playing since Demon Souls back in 2009, and I'm gonna be honest with you, quick spoiler, that's my favorite Soulsborne game. I mean, it's the one we all started with, right? Anyways, I'm gonna go from bottom to top. So, my least favorite Soulsborne game is Dark Souls 3, and big surprise, um, many of you won't like this uh, spot for Dark Souls 3, but I just genuinely don't find it fun. Replays suck. The bosses are pretty good, but I find some of them are overrated, especially Abyss Watchers. Like, every time I fight that boss, I'm just running around and hoping the AI doesn't, you know, like mess up and like take forever to spawn. I just don't enjoy that boss fight. The music is peak though. Like, I love the music in that boss fight, but yeah. Uh, the world design also kind of sucks, and the art direction isn't the best either compared to the other Soulsborne games. And it's just not pleasant to look at compared to the rest of the Soulsborne games as well. So I rank Dark Souls 3 at the bottom. And I know that's highly controversial because many people consider it the best one. And then after that, I would say it's Dark Souls 2. Now, Dark Souls 2 I actually kind of like. I actually really like it. I don't know why I said kind of. The only issue is the gameplay. It's just it just feels a little slow, and I'm not a big fan of the statues and the branches of yore and all that stuff. But I actually really enjoyed the DLCs. I enjoyed the what do you call it? The like the dual wielding weapons, but power stance. I like that a lot. What else is there? I like Fume Knight a lot. I like Sir Alone. I liked the story as well. I found the story really interesting and unique. I found the world very nice and pleasant. Some areas can go, straight to hell, like frigid outskirts. But yeah, there's just some areas in that game where you're like, wow, it's mesmerizing or it's beautiful. Like um, Majula. Majula is like one of the best hub worlds, top three easily. The other two being Nexus and Hunter's Dream. But yeah, that's where I rank Dark Souls 2. And for the third spot, and it's bottom to worst. Sorry, worst to best. So Dark Souls 3 and then Dark Souls 2. And now I would put. So this one's kind of tricky because I think I would actually put Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne at the same spot. And I really like both these games. The reason why I have a hard time deciding between them is because Dark Souls 1 has obviously the world interconnectivity, and the level design is really good. I love Artorias to death. I think he's one of the best characters ever in Soulsborne, and if they're ever going to make a movie, it should be about him. Bloodborne, I would say the combat's amazing. I love the Chalice dungeons, and I know that sounds weird, but I actually like how they implemented a system where you can go kind of outside the base game and or the story and just go make your character stronger or your weapon stronger. I kind of wish they did that with the other Soulsborne games. I just like farming and stuff like that, so I think that's why I put Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1 kind of high on my list, or like third spot. And then, so number 2 is Elden Ring. Now, Elden Ring is easily the best Soulsborne game I played, but it's not my favorite. But it is the best because I believe Millennia is the best boss I've ever fought in a Soulsborne game. Peak boss, in my opinion. I know there's a waterfall dance, but just learn it. Learn how to avoid it. It's not that bad. And I love the music for her boss fight too. I love the lore behind Millennia. I love her design. The long dress and the nakedness in Phase 2 is kind of weird, but other than that, her design is amazing. The DLC made it lose some points because I just didn't like what they did with Mikola. I feel like George created a really interesting character with Mikola. The world building was so good in um, Elden Ring, and then Miyazaki kind of screwed it up. And I still love Miyazaki, but he's not perfect, obviously. No one is, to be fair, but he really messed it up with Mikola. And then, yeah, Mikola was the most interesting character in all of Soulsborne up until, he wanted to marry Verdun to, like, for his new Age of Compassion. And you know what's interesting on that aspect, actually? I really think they should have just made Mikola Age of Compassion a different ending entirely. Like, you defeat Radagon and Elden Beast, and then you can, like, defeat Mikola, and then it could be like, oh, here's a new ending unlocked. Like, that's the only way I think it would have, like, kind of worked, but, like, it just didn't work in my opinion. So that's why Elden Ring's not number one, and number one is Demon Souls. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but Demon Souls doesn't have, like, the evolved mechanics of the new Soulsborne games, or it's not as refined. But none of the Soulsborne games, in my opinion, comes close to Demon Souls when it comes to innovation. Like, there's Bloodborne with the uh, you know trick weapons, which is pretty cool, and, like, the gothic elements and the Victorian era, which is all really good. And I would probably put it as second most innovative. But Demon Souls is like the fog gates, the what do you call it? The sound effects. It all ties into the Demon Souls lore. And then when you go to the other games, they're just kind of there as Easter eggs or nods to Demon Souls, because Demon Souls, it has a place in the lore, whereas um, in those other games it doesn't really make sense, even though it still works. Like, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying, like, in Demon Souls, it originated from there and it makes the most sense. And I love the level design in Demon Souls, and I actually really like Val's Defilement and, like, Swamp of Sorrow, because if you actually take your time with those levels, and you use a dex build, like, I really think those levels are very fun and enjoyable. I can upload gameplay, but I this is like my first time uploading a video for, like, rankings, and I remember going through 1-3 with a dex build and sniping the enemies, because you can actually see the enemies, right? You know where you're going, and you just snipe them, slowly kill them, and then if you're lucky, they die. If not, then you just melee them, right? But yeah, I just generally prefer the level design of Demon Souls. I like the hub world the most. The Nexus is goated to me, and I know some people like Majula more, but that's okay. Like, both are goated. Um, Maiden in Black, best Firekeeper easily. Characters Demon Souls are amazing. I don't think anyone ever complains about them. The quests in Demon Souls are really good too. Like, they're straightforward. The world tendency, I know, is controversial, but I still really, really like it. Because, like, you get to manipulate the world. I know it's, like, hard to understand, but, if you put, like, hundreds, or, like, I don't even know how many hours I have in Demon Souls, but I'll tell you this: I beat the game a dozen times or more, and I platinumed it on PS5. I actually really enjoy the original and the remake. I don't know why some people complain the remake's art direction is weird or the soundtrack is bad, because just play the original, right? I like both a lot, and I put Demon Souls in my number one spot. I actually really like the story too. Nothing wrong with the story as well. The music is good as well. I honestly can't find many flaws in Demon Souls other than no plunging attack. No plunging attack sucks, but you gotta forgive it because it's the first Soulsborne game. And yeah, that's my Soulsborne list. Thanks for sticking around, and I know it's kind of a long video and I'm just kind of mumbling to myself, but that's my Soulsborne ranking. Best game is Demon Souls, in my opinion. Sorry, my favorite game is Demon Souls, but best game is easily Elden Ring. Thanks for watching. Bye.